Greetings everybody, 'tis I, 480 volts, and this is going to be a real informal video, but with everything going on and us being in lockdown and quarantine mode and all that good stuff, and me just being really bored because I have not a whole lot to do during this whole time, I figured I'd take a moment and show you guys my musical setup because it's changed a little bit since the last few times you've seen me at the keyboard playing stuff, and it's actually been changing for the last few years, but as of now, it's quite a bit different. So if you don't mind, I'll just take a couple moments to show you the ins and outs of how I do things musically. Alright, so we're going to start with the old stuff. This was my main driving machine for the last, well, not for the last, but it was for 10 years. I got this desktop computer in 2008, and it's well, it's now taken up space because I don't use it anymore. I have since upgraded. Moving on, continuing with the old stuff, here is my Roland RS-5 that I have had for 20 years. My dad got it for me a long time ago. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, you might notice it's sitting up quite a bit higher than it used to. I still use it occasionally, but it's not the main driving thing. Basically, I used to have this thing basically it was a MIDI slave to GarageBand on this computer here. And, but things are a little bit different now. So, that's the old stuff. Let's move on to the new. So, down here is my new main driver. This is my laptop that I got this a couple years ago. I got this in 2018. And I don't use GarageBand on this anymore. I bought Logic Pro X for this machine, which cost a little bit of a penny, but I mean, because it's good. It's pro-level production software. And even though I, musically speaking, am completely amateurish, but you know, I thought, why not? You know, let's just get something good. And then not too long ago, I downloaded MainStage which is like $30 from the App Store, which is a steal for what you're allowed to do with MainStage. In fact, that's what you're seeing on my screen right now. MainStage, if people don't know, is a performing software. Logic is a recording and production software. MainStage is for you actually, like Logic is for you actually recording your stuff. MainStage is for you actually performing it. That's what they're made for. Though they work so seamlessly together, and that's awesome. So yeah, so there's the new machine, and then over here, so here's the view. So now this I bought this for MainStage. It's the M-Audio Oxygen 61. It's just it's not a standalone keyboard. Like, it's not a keyboard. Like, it's a keyboard, but it's not a synthesizer. It doesn't have any sounds of its own. It is strictly a MIDI controller. Right now it is designed, or right now I've got it mapped to do everything with MainStage. So before, what I had going on here, and I still have it hooked up, these cables here, these are MIDI cables. They go to this really long cable. They go to this interface right here, which yeah, so it's MIDI cables in and a USB out. It USBs into your computer. There you go. That was how I was doing GarageBand. I had it USB'd into the desktop. Now I have it USB'd into the laptop, so it can still send MIDI input to the laptop. For audio purposes, and this is how I've had it for a long time, these two line in and outs, or just, rather, they're just cables. They're going to the input of the keyboard. Down here, we got this mixer that my dad also got me. That's them right there. Them right there. Those two silver ones. You probably only see the one. See, there's two. Yeah, it's hard to see. But anyway, so they're sending signal into the mixer. These two cables right here used to be coming from my desktop. Now they're coming from the laptop. So the laptop's sending signal into the mixer, and the mixer is sending signal out from this cable, which goes into these two speakers that I have set up. So everything, what I play on here, in fact, I'll turn the volume up so you can hear. That's the volume for the keyboard. that's the Roland itself, and it's coming out of these speakers. Yeah, so all my fancy goodies on the Roland. Hang on, I'll show you the surefire laugh getter. This always used to make people crack up if I can ever find it. There it is. Okay, enough of that then. But yeah, so everything comes out of these speakers. But yeah, so it MIDIs into the computer so I can drive Logic or to an extent MainStage. But then this right here is solely made for, well, it's made for that type of software. I use it for MainStage. So like every one of these controls can control stuff on MainStage. Like if I bring this fader up, you're gonna hear the piano. That's from MainStage, and I can, you know, put little effects on it. Now it's softer. I can put some reverb onto it. It's really cool. I can add a shimmer effect to it. I can mute it. Now it's not giving me any more signal. Now it is. I can make it double octave. That sounds pretty cool, no? You know, I can do pads. I can add a shimmer effect to the pads. Over here I got an organ. I can change the tone of the organ. And add some distortion to it. I can, you know, I can make it hold out. Of course, I can mute it too. I can, what else can I do? I got a shimmer effect for the organ. I'm playing one-handed right now, so I'm a little like holding the camera. Takes up concentration. Oh, check this out for the pads. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, some synthesizer stuff. Add delay to that. I'm gonna increase the time of the delay. Can add a second layer to it. So it's all really cool, and I just got a new toy. If you don't mind, I'm going to hook it up right now. So, where's my USB cable? There it is. Okay. This is the Nano Key. I use this. I just got this little toy. I'm going to try to hook it up one-handed. It's just buttons, but they're designed to look like keyboard, or yeah, they're designed to look like keyboard keys. So, so it's idiot-proof for guys like me. I've got it set up to where I can just hit one of these keys, like that's a G key. And now there's a drone pad going. And I can control the drone pad like that. I can add the shimmer to it. And then I can just play to like whatever. You know, so that it's just it's a 1 in 5 just being constantly held out. It'll last for about 12 minutes. Or I can switch to another key. It fades out the old one, it brings in the new. A flat, the best key ever. And I hit this top one here, and the whole thing fades out. One of these days. that shimmer effect makes it really last longer. And so yeah, it was super cool. So, but yeah, Logic is what I now use to basically drive everything. Before I was using the old GarageBand, now I'm using Logic. And sometimes, you know, for performing things, I use MainStage. Because like, for those of you who don't know, I play keys at my church. Well, I was playing keys at my church. Now all that's been put on hold because of everything going on. But we are taking it seriously. But for that, I use MainStage as well because, and also we got drum pads here that I haven't mapped out, but they do light up when I touch them. So, but yeah, so Logic is basically what I use now to record. It has way more control than the old GarageBand, but I don't know it as well as the old GarageBand, and I had gotten so familiar with the old GarageBand that I could manipulate it to the point where it was like an extension of my fingers, and I haven't gotten to that point with Logic yet. But hopefully I will one day. I'm getting pretty good with MainStage, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and down here is my pedal of choice. Yet again, my dad got this for me as a Christmas present several years ago. So thanks, Dad. Man, he has helped me a lot through my musical journey. So yeah, and that right there, that's a good pedal. I've had that one for like 6 or 7 years, and it feels good, and it hasn't given out on me yet, as other pedals apparently do. But I think that's good enough for now. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to see my musical setup, because if and when I do start making more like piano keyboard covers, you're going to see the 2 keyboards, and you might be like, oh, when did that happen? So yeah, and but yeah, that's basically it. That's all I got. So I'll see y'all later. Look forward to a new video game review dropping pretty soon, I hope. And maybe some musical stuff with my setup. Yeah, that's all I got. See ya. Pieces.